Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to welcome you all to the Oasis 500 Startup Competition. Thank you all for being here. Quick note for the judges, if they can please join us in the backstage room. I'm going to introduce to you right now the Vice President of Corporate, sorry, just get this right. Senior Vice President for Startup and Ecosystem at Orange, Nathalie Boulanger. Okay. Well, first and foremost, I'd really like to thank you for the commitment that Orange is showing by being here. And I'd like to see if you can just give us an overview and a brief about the footprint that Orange has across the different markets in the Middle East.
Thank you very much, Youssef. So Orange is a telco operating in 32 countries across Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And of course, MENA is at the heart of our strategy because, as we saw during this summit, the growth potential is huge in this market. And so, specifically in the MENA zone, we are operating in Egypt through Mobinil, in Jordan, in Iraq, Morocco, and Tunisia.
And I think, one of the key elements, first of all, that represents a large customer base, which in itself represents an opportunity for servicing and what's the total footprint in terms of actual customers you have in this market?
Worldwide, I don't need the macro. Worldwide, it represents 230 million customers, so all around the world.
Okay. I think one area we found earlier on in the day, we spoke about mature investments and creating ecosystems. You have been pushing innovation in the region, and I wanted to, if you could elaborate to the audience more about your approach for that. How do you interact? How do you basically work with different entities and specifically startups within the region itself?
So, well, first, we believe that innovation is key in this digital sector, which is, shaping a new civilization like electricity did in the 19th century. And so innovation is key to keep ahead from competition and to provide the best of the digital life to our customers. So we invest a lot in innovation with labs, R&D labs all around the world in 12 countries, and specifically in the MENA zone, in Egypt, in Cairo, in Amman, and in Tunisia, because innovation has to be global to have the best of the technology, but also local to meet the real needs of the customers.
And examples of innovation. Some of the work that you've done, and you spoke a lot about the Orange ecosystem. Mm-hmm. If you could elaborate on that specifically and how it falls into play and how it can help startups in this area and market.
Okay, so I am in charge of Orange Startup Ecosystem, and the acronym of Orange Startup Ecosystem in France is DARE, because we want to dare to work closely with startups. In a very connected world, innovation has to be open, and so we want to work closely with startups, especially in the countries where we are operating. And we want to develop our cooperation within the MENA region with startups.
And strategy, what's your strategy? What's your approach for working more and developing an interesting relationships with startups?
Yes. With startups, I think basically startups, they need money, they need customers, and they need talents. As we saw during this summit, there is money in this region. And so as a telco, we want to focus more on the customer domain. So we want to help startups to reach their markets.
So in essence, what you might be offering startups is like an open lab environment where they can come up with ideas, concepts, and they can conceptualize these ideas, whether it's media content or other applications that they can test in a bed with a large pool of customers that can allow them to monetize the actual applications they might be developing?
Yes.
Is that a good description?
Yes, we can help them. We can give them access to our technology and also to the customers, exactly.
Well, I mean, you've already made a statement by being here and sponsoring this event, but what do you want to walk away from the summit itself?
Well, we want to work closely with startups in this region because, as I told just before, I think we can do much more, and we can do much more together with startups to get the best product and services for our customers.
Well, I mean, I'd like to really thank you, and we'll wrap it up there, but we'll come back in a minute as part of the panel that will be judging the pitches themselves. I'll just give a brief about what the process will be like in a minute. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Yusuf.
Thank you, Nathalie. Just to give you a quick background about this partnership, about Oasis 500. And I think I'll show you a couple of slides and quickly we'll go through them just to give you some quick history and relevance to what we do and what we represent in this market. So we'll... Okay. In a very short period of time, Oasis 500 basically has been really focused and geared about delivering results. I think I wanted to start with this specific short message in terms of being the #1 in technology deals, #2 in the Middle East by the amount of dollars invested, and actually we're the 10th global destination for technology investments in the world today. What is Oasis 500? If we can take you through that quickly. It's an answer to a couple of questions. It's basically we are in a dire need for ideas and entrepreneurs, and for that specific purpose, we created a platform or an incubation area that can allow for acceleration, for growing these ideas, and for developing further and giving them the right level of support that they need and require. Okay, but it was really an outcome of a vision laid out by His Majesty King Abdullah II, where he articulated the requirements of how the private sector should develop a platform for inviting entrepreneurs into an environment that can allow them to work, develop, mature, and create continuous success stories, leveraging the technical leadership that Jordan has in many areas. Where are we facing? We are basically today still in a vicious landscape. We do not have early stage funding easily accessible by entrepreneurs. We've talked about that a lot today, and I think we've given multiple examples of that. And I think the issue is that we don't have a lot of angel funding, so we try to address these points by working against them. And today you'll really basically see the outcome of that process. You're going to see 5 entities coming and giving you pitches about their businesses, inviting you, one, to invest, and trying to convince us, the panel, to show them that we can give them a grant of around $10,000 to say, well, that's our contribution to you to further grow your business and move it forward. It's a fund, and Oasis 500 manages this fund and is growing it continuously. And it started in June 2010 as a concept, and I think in terms of the overall results delivered so far, it's rather impressive. 4 main areas that we basically do: training, startup funding, mentorship, and angel network. Now, that being said, I think just to give you a quick brief about how we came up with these 5 entities that today we'll be presenting to you and pitching. We had a partnership discussion where we discussed and reached out to multiple entities to see how we can get applications on board. And once these applications were received by us, by different entrepreneurs and their businesses that they represent, we went and filtered those and came out with a shortlisted group of entities that we felt would be qualified to attend this specific session. So today we're going to be basically looking at these 5 entities, and we will have a panel of 7 judges who will be looking at their performance and their summaries, and accordingly we'll make a decision on who would be the most qualified potentially to receive this grant that we have allocated for this purpose. Okay? So I'm going to basically invite the judges back to the stage, and we'll take it from there. First and foremost, Jacky Abitbol. the Vice President of Corporate Development at Orange. So we're waiting for Jacky Abitbol. Hi. Vice President of Corporate Development, Tamer Ahmed from the Orange Cairo lab. Nathalie Boulanger again, Senior Vice President for Startup at the Ecosystems at Orange. Ahmed Al-Alfi, Founder and Chairman of Sherif Safwat, the Executive Director of the 21st Century Digital Arabia, and I'll be also part of the panel. Okay. Again, each entrepreneur will have a limited time to present of 5 specific minutes, and within that, hopefully, we can get a good summary and a good understanding of what they want to do and their aspirations. So I'm going to start to introduce the first entrepreneur and wish them all the best of luck. Fida Taher from Zaytuna. Okay.
Hi, my name is Fida, and I founded Zaytuna.com, which is a video recipe website 2 years ago. I'm a video content producer, and I strongly believe in the power and potential of online video. I grew up loving food because my mom is actually a chef. Let me start by telling you more about Zaytuna. So we have over 700 HD short videos done by more than 20 chefs. Our videos are between 1 to 3 minutes long, with only the hands of the chef preparing the meal. Today, we're producing between 80 to 120 recipes per month. We work with over 20 strategic partners across the region, and we have over 20 million video views across all of the channels we publish our videos on. So we publish the videos on Zaytuna.com with mobile operators across the region, on applications, our YouTube channel, and definitely on our partners' websites. We have a hard-working team who works 7 days a week to be able to produce this amount of videos with this quality. Users love Zaytuna not only because video is the fastest learning method. It's because our videos are short and on demand. We have 100 video recipes a month. They're clear, the steps are easy to follow, they're tried and tested, and for sure they're free. This is a sample of how our brand looks like on some of our partners' websites. There's Yahoo, MSN Arabia, STC Mall. We also got investment from NBC. We're YouTube partners. And our recent and latest partner is Tastemade from the States, which is the largest YouTube network for food, managing over 160 video recipe channels across 14 countries. Zaytuna is the one and only channel from the region joining Tastemade's network. We actually started dubbing our videos in English for Tastemade to publish and monetize in the US market. Since we only show the hands of the chef preparing the meal, we will be able to tap into other markets by dubbing the videos in other languages in the future. Media loves us too. We were actually mentioned in the opening article of The Economist a couple of months ago. If you watch NBC4, please look us up. We're going to be featured in several episodes in their new Prime show, Dr. Chef. We were also featured in several medias in the region. Our business model is based on definitely advertising, product placement. We use products inside our videos, applications. We license videos to third parties, and revenue sharing with our partners. We're hoping to close 2013 with a revenue of $100,000 to reach over $2 million within a couple of years. I'd like to share our delicious recipe of success because it's actually very simple. We have a great team producing delicious content in a very fast-growing emerging market. We publish our content on as many channels as possible on different platforms. We create media exposure and brand awareness. And to add the cherry on top, we have investors very supportive investors who sit on our board. We're looking for funding to expand into more markets, into more languages, and to definitely grow the team. I'm going to leave you with a few seconds of video, but before that, of our videos, but before that, I'd just like to emphasize on a point that Zaytouna is a regional product that's growing from the region to expand globally.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to open the discussion for 3 minutes, basically for Q&A from the judges.
Yes, one question. You have a partnership with YouTube, and you're distributing your videos through YouTube. And you said about the business model, it's mainly on advertising. So are you considering, or is YouTube considering, to use your content for their payment channels? Say, for a subscription, video on demand?
We strongly believe in free video. So most of our videos are published for free, except for premium videos that we offer for a subscription fee through mobile operators. Our content on YouTube is for free all the time. However, we do make some revenue from YouTube because we are partners.
Okay, and what will be the split, let's say, on the freemium and free videos from the agreement that you have with the mobile operators?
I'm sorry.
What will be the split between the freemium revenues that you're generating through the partnership with the operators and what you are doing on the
So basically, the videos we launched through mobile operators are actually launched later on for free 8 weeks later. And
Okay.
subscribers are fully aware of that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. How many, two questions, how many video views are you doing a month now across all the distribution partners? And second, what are you doing to kind of increase, to actually increase that, but to increase awareness about cooking and so on, make it part of a daily habit?
Okay. So to tell you the truth, for the past year and a half, we've been just focusing on building the library of 700 videos. We haven't been focusing on marketing or expanding or even making any revenue. So 40% to 50% of our views has been acquired during the past 6 months only. So on Zaytouna alone, we have approximately 700 or 800,000 video views per month. The rest comes from the other channels. Yes?
Yes, a question. What's your revenue share model with operators?
So we work with a content aggregator, which is integral in our case. They take a cut, we take a cut, and the operator takes a cut. The first month we launched with STC, we were making approximately $5,000 a month during month one. We're actually planning on launching with 6 other mobile operators before March 2014.
One question. I'm not sure, you show projection here over the next three years. How do you sustain that? What is the actual revenue model behind it, and how can you project that?
Okay. When you own video content, it actually eventually monetizes itself because videos are a sustainable source of revenue. The video we produce today will continue on being monetized 3 and 4 and 5 years from now because ads will keep on running per video. But the trick is we dub the videos in different languages by only adding a fraction of the production price to the video. That's why our cost sort of stays stable, just increases just a little bit while our revenues will increase.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Let's all join me in welcoming Nasser Saleh from Madfu'at.
Hi, My name is Nasser Saleh, CEO and founder of Madfa'atkum. Madfa'atkum is an Arabic word that means your payments. So I'll start now when the presentation comes. We have an issue here in Jordan and the MENA region, actually, for payments. Most of the time, people are paying in cash. So we have really an issue when people, Okay. So most of the time, when you want to pay your bill here in the MENA region, you have to take cash, drive your car, wait in a long queue, waste time, and then pay your payment. And you have to pay it because you don't want to have any issue with your mobile line or electricity or utility. So what Madfa'atkum is trying to do, we are trying to offer the customers an easy way, electronic way, to inquire and pay your payment online real time, 24/7. Now, there is an issue in general in the MENA region that there are online payments, but really they are not that effective. Most of them are credit cards, and the credit cards penetration in the region is very low. Also, some banks were trying to offer that service. In most cases, you need to have the physical bill to pay your payment, and in many cases, it's not real time, and it has higher rates of errors. So what Madfa'atkum will do, it will enable customers to view the bill and inquire about it without having the physical bill, and also the ability to pay it online real time 24/7. We were established in 2011 with the help of Oasis 500 and many other investors from Jordan and the GCC. So like I said, the banks were trying to solve this issue. And if you look at this diagram, it's really a complicated way if all banks want to connect to all billers and merchants. So when Madfa'atkum comes to the picture, it's a centralized online real-time electronic bill presentment and payment system. So when a bank connects to us, he can offer payment services to all the other billers. And when a new biller connects to us, immediately he will be available to all banks. So the benefits are really high. It reduces the collection cost. It increases the acceleration of the cash flow. It's quick and secure and increases the collection rate for the billers. Also, from a country point of view, it's very good for the countries and central banks because it increases the e-payments versus the cash payments. And like we said, it's a win-win for everybody, the customer who's paying and the banks and the billers. Business model, the customers will pay no extra fees to pay their bills online real time, and the banks will pay also nothing. The only one who will pay is the billers and the merchants, and they will pay less than what they actually currently pay through their branches and traditional collection houses. The market potential is huge. In Jordan alone, we have more than 10 million bills every month that has to be paid, utilities and telecoms and others. If you go to other countries, it's tens of millions of bills every month. There was a very good case study in Saudi Arabia. It was called Sadad, sponsored by the Central Bank of Saudi Arabia. It was very successful. Today, they have more than 94% of the market share of people paying through Sadad. We are targeting all kinds of payments, starting from large payments, utilities, telecoms, airlines, education, schools, government, any payment. Achievements, we already set up the company in 2011. We started in Jordan and focusing on Jordan and the MENA region in general. And the good news, 10 days ago, we won the Central Bank of Jordan tender to build and operate and administrate the national bill presentment and payment service in Jordan. So we will be the exclusive service provider for that service in Jordan, and we are planning to do a similar model in the other countries. So our plan is really to finish the project in Jordan and then expand to the other countries. The financials is very promising. The good thing, the revenue stream is continuous. Every month people have to pay. So we are having a continuous revenue stream. In Jordan alone, we expect more than $30 million in year 5. If you go to other countries, it will be even multiples of that. We are raising a new fund now, $1.5 million, to cover our operational cost in Jordan and to start expand to the other countries in the region. Our partners, 2P from Saudi Arabia, they have a robust engine that was connected to Sadad for the last 9 years. We took it, and we enhanced it. Oasis 500 and other investors from the GCC. We participated in many competitions. We won Queen Rania Award, WAMDA competition, ArabNet, and many others. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd just like to interrupt quickly. On your seats, there were some cards left. And the purpose of those is for those interested to consider investing in some of these entities. You can please fill out the cards with your details and present them at the receptionist. We'll basically take them and collect them accordingly. As you can see, there's a great opportunity here. So if we can start with some Q&A.
Have you launched yet? And are you connected live to any networks yet?
Actually, we already connected to a couple of banks in Jordan and also with billers. But now we changed the whole setup because now this service in Jordan is owned by the central bank and we are operating it. So now we started to connect more banks. So it will not be live till end of this year because it has to be live with the central bank also.
How would you position your company in front of mobile operators with their billing systems or what they're trying to put? Sorry, how are you positioning yourself in front of mobile operators with the payment system that are putting in place for this type of, let's say,
yeah, actually,
issues?
Yeah, the good thing about this service, it's not competing with the other services like the mobile payment. Now, for the mobile wallets, for example, or payments, they will connect to us and immediately they will have access to all kinds of billers and merchants. So they don't have to do the job again. They don't need to connect to multiple billers and merchants. So we'll help them. In Jordan also there is a mobile payment switch sponsored by the central bank. They will connect to us so that we can offer them this service.
Okay. So your business model will be based on operating the service for the Central Bank of Jordan, correct?
And revenue share from each biller, whenever you pay a bill, there will be a fee. This fee will be split between the central bank and Madfu'atkum.
Okay. And you mentioned you are planning to advance or go to other countries. So do you have a list or someone in mind? Because you mentioned in Saudi, you have Sadat. In Egypt, we have Fawri.
Fawri, exactly.
So
exactly.
in Emirates, we have the e-dirham and the...
For Saudi Arabia, yes, Sadat is already there. In Egypt, Fawri is also there. Now, for other countries, most of the countries, they don't have it. Now, even in UAE, the banks are really advanced and the e-government is advanced. But you don't have a centralized bill presentment and payment system. The e-dirham and the banks can connect to this service. So still there is a big need. We already received many interest from different countries. Some of them are really almost 5 to 6 times the size of Jordan. Like Algeria, we have from Sudan also. So it has a really big future in terms of payments.
If I can ask, is this limited to the Arab world, or is this can this be extended to other markets?
Yeah, thank you. This is a good question. It's not only for the region. We are focusing in phase 1 on the region, but actually even in Europe, you don't have the same model. You have some banks, advanced banks, offering this service, but you don't have a centralized bill and presentment payment system. So our next phase is to go also international.
And how do you guarantee the security of the transaction?
Excellent. Now we have actually a very robust system. The engine itself was working with Sadat in the Central Bank of Saudi Arabia. And now when we won this tender with the Central Bank of Jordan, they did all kind of due diligence and also security testing for our application. It really applies all the security of the banking standards up to the business standards. So it's very secure, very robust, and the type of the transaction is not risky. You don't have any credit card number, nothing. We are connecting through banks, which is very secure, and exchanging the amount of the bill and whether it's paid or not. Okay, so the nature of the business is not that risky, but it's a very secure system.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Well presented. If we can basically give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
Please welcome Ziad from Wixel Studios.
Hi. I'm Ziad Fighali, co-founder and CEO of Wixel Studios. Wixel Studios was established in Beirut in 2008. It was established by Karim, Abi Saleh, Ran Abbas, and myself. We come from an educational and DigiPan. It's an American company, it's an American-based company. In 2008, we started our own, and we grown our company from 3 to 6 people for now. In 2008, we were faced in the problem that we wanted to create game. We have passions for games, and we were seeing a lack of game products in the region. So what we call adver games and edu games. So we started introducing this to the market. We had a little bumps as the market was not ready and was still in the above-the-line era. It was a really tough period for us. And on the other side, we initiated creating games of our own. In this period, between 2008 and 2012, it was based on web and Facebook. So we were able to cater for so many companies. We created around 20 adver and edu games. We built our reputation for creating high-end quality games for the region. In 2008, things switched. I mean, in Q3 2008, we got our first VC round from MEVP and Beritak Fund. We stopped the services to concentrate on creating on our R&D to shift our business model towards mobile. So what we did is we gathered our knowledge and we added on top of it our new employees, and we created
in the post-global warming
our
era,
first game, which was Survivor Race.
with doomsday theories on the rise. The modification of plants' physiology became a last resort to saving what's left of the world as we know it. The results were disastrous. With the help of the Anti-Plant Terrorism Agency, two unlikely heroes rose up to the challenge. Life or power plants. The human race has a new ultimatum.
Survivor Race is already a success in the region. We have around 600,000 downloads for the single player. The game is free to play for the moment. We are creating the multiplayer that will be released. It's a cross-platform game. It will be played on multiple mobiles, on all the mobiles, and they can challenge. It's a cross-platform totally, and you can play it on Facebook and PS Network and Xbox Live. By the way, we entered into the edu gaming era. We started creating some game that teaches kids safety. So why did we invest $300,000 for a year when we stopped servicing to go into the mobile? Because eventually the growth of the mobile platform as gaming platform is becoming huge. I mean, around the market share of the mobile gaming internationally now is around $9 billion, and it's gonna shift up to $24 billion in 2016. The number of the increasing number yearly, which is 35%, now we are at 170 million between the States and the US, and it's increasing at the rate of 35% per year. So what are the competitive edges of our company now that we have already, we reestablished our hybrid system, which is creating services for the region and creating our own apps, which is across. So we will use the games that we create for clients to create core games for our own games, and it's going to be vice versa. So practically, the success factors is creating this hybrid business model and the experience and award-winning team that we have, the content superiority that we established in the region, and the already existing clients that we have. So basically, I like a lot of time.
Okay. We'll open it for some questions.
How do you distribute the games? How do you distribute for the downloads?
Well, it's distributed digitally through the Apple Store, the Android Store, the Google Play, and Samsung Store. Now we're going to publish on Facebook, Xbox Live, and PS Network. So basically, it's digitally distributed.
Okay, and from the 600,000 downloads, are they active users or they're just downloads?
No, actually, we have 70,000 active users.
70?
70, yeah,
okay.
70K.
So what is the size of your team? How many people working on
Okay, for now, we are 6. We are 6 that we are distributing our time between the services that we have and the own projects. So basically, actually, we just released the servicing to the market in Q3, at the end of Q2 and Q3, starting Q3, and already we were able to garnish 80K projects. One of them was presented in Dubai Mall. It was a Ferrari World karting game.
Can you tell me your business model and how much revenues are generated today?
Okay, for the first section, which is the R&D and creating survival race and putting it online, it was basically R&D, creating the game, because it's a very sophisticated game, and it's already going to be on 6 platforms. The first version was a freemium, it was a case study, which is a single player, so we can sharpen the mechanics of the game and the gameplay. Now, with the multiplayer version, we have all the monetization system that's going to be through betting with your friends on when you play, and through advancing in the game or by upgrading your car, etc. and etc.
And your business model?
And business model, we have 2 actually. For the revenue stream, we have the servicing and we have the in-app purchase.
And what type of bandwidth do you need to be able, I mean, you know the region is very not advanced bandwidth. You said you're mobile gaming, so you need some...
It doesn't have to do anything with the bandwidth as the game is turn-based. So we don't need that much bandwidth.
In the last slide, there was something about virtual goods. Virtual goods on the last slide on the business model.
Well,
so
this is the business model of the survival race. When you go and play and you need to upgrade your car, so you play with the virtual goods. If you want to play with your friends and against your friends, you have to set a bet so you can challenge them. In the US, people will be able to play for real cash, actually. So when you have your car and your opponent's car, you set your challenge for $1, and you can cash out with real money. We have, the game has a lot of traction in the Far East, in China especially. We have around 60% of the players are from China. So the game, when the multiplayer is done, it's going to be translated into Chinese, and it's going to be using Chinese monetization. I mean, micropayments, Chinese micropayments.
Why do you think this will be a hit? It's one of how many other games there are there?
Okay, basically, the numbers that we have, the game has been on the store since May 2013, with minimum effort in the marketing. The game so far is being downloaded organically. So people go to the store, they check a racing game, they check the description of the game, the graphics on the game, and they download it. So there's no virality effect in the game yet, but it's going to happen in the multiplayer. It's going to be there into multiplayer. So, and what we see it, our forecast is our download rate is going to quadruple with the virality effect when the game is going to be released. The gross margin is going to be the tricky part is how much the game, what's going to be the lifetime value for the player once we release the multiplayer, and this is something that we are aiming that our projection will hit correctly.
Let me interrupt here. I think the time is up. We extended a little bit, so thank you so much for your time. If you can give him a hand of applause. And we'll be now listening to Kiza and Francesca from Comms Africa.
Hi, my name is Francisca, and this is Kiza, and we are here to present TMD and Comms Africa. So TMD is an incubator in Dubai, helping companies move to the Middle East and the North African region. TMD stands for Telecom, Media, and Digital, and that's the space we're going to operate in. And as we've seen these past couple of days, it's a good place to be. Basically, what we offer is that we offer shared office space, visa, accounting, etc. So it's low risk, low cost for the companies to reach the MENA region from MENA region. What we offer, our value proposition, is a board of advisors with C-level people and senior consultants that have huge experience in the Middle East and in this space, so the telecom, media, and digital space. We offer those resources, the network, and make the companies accelerate a lot faster. The first product that we're going to introduce to the Middle East is Kamza. and I will pass the word to Keza to give a brief introduction.
I can't get this to play, but could you work this for me? Red? I did. Oh, there we go. Okay. So Comms Africa is a Mauritius-based and registered company with operations in Nairobi, Kenya, and our technical R&D sits in Kigali. And going forward, TMD will be our partner representative in the MENA region. Just a quick snapshot. These are some of the people these are the people that we work with. It's spread across several years of experience in the business and telecoms industry. I'll jump straight into the service, emergency airtime service, which is basically a service that's made available to prepaid subscribers for them to borrow airtime. And on their next reload, they pay back what was advanced to them. This service is based, we advance airtime to people based on how long they've been on the network. We reckon if you've had your SIM card for a while, you hold value to it and won't chuck it after your advance. We also look at how much the person spends, what their ARPU is, and on that basis, we score them. The different business rules are completely configurable, so we get into discussions with the operator and agree on what to offer going forward. It serves as a convenient service for the operator, for the user, my apologies, but more so, it's an additional revenue avenue for operators as well as an enhancement for their brand loyalty, my apologies. We pride ourselves in the no-risk angle. The entire business is offered to these operators at no risk. They also spend no money. It's a zero-cost investment for them. In terms of how we structure the business, we enter into a contractual agreement with the operator. We charge a service fee on the advance and share the revenue. We also put in place bank guarantees to cover the risk for the operator's potential airtime loss. At the moment, we have a relationship with 26 countries across the African continent in those operations, with the three offices highlighted there. Okay, just to as a business, it has been. We have a very strong bottom line that has been, we're looking at about 300,000 in the first year with a growth to about 41 million. It's covered by the timer. 41 million in a 5-year horizon that's supported by our strong top line. I'll let you take over.
Yeah, and if we look at the African market and the MENA market, we see a lot of similarities. And we also see a huge potential in this market. Just to give you a few numbers, more than 300 million mobile users, most of them are prepaid, and we are approaching 44 operators. Our strategy in the first year is to approach UAE, Egypt, KSA, and if you look at the full potential in the first year, we can reach over $160 million in revenues. And if we look at a more 5-year plan, we see a steady growth, a sustainable growth. So why you should invest in us is growth, stakeholder, shareholder profit, and it's an innovative team. And if we remember from the previous talk, the team is crucial to win in this market. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
One question. You said you give grades to the users. So you said you give grades to the users. So this is the way you can allow free minutes. So how do you do that? Because that information, you get it from the operators?
Yes,
So you need to be integrated to the operator?
Yeah, we integrate physically to the operator. So any request that a user makes is channeled through our system to check their eligibility. And then if you are eligible, we advance you the airtime. If not, you get a message explaining why. Maybe you haven't been with the network long enough, or you haven't spent so much.
And the second question, you said about the risk, the credit risk. So from your experience, what is the percentage of, not paying customers?
We, on average, are looking at about 3% of non-comebacks.
So from an operator standpoint, what is the business model? You just integrate with the operators, and the operators is being basically paid by you for this free airtime?
Yes. What we do is we get into a revenue share on the fee. So there's an additional revenue that's unlocked by users being able to make calls in that situation where they couldn't, and then an additional revenue on the fee share.
And up to now, you have established that with many operators. Why do they join in? Why don't they do it themselves?
Well, there's two main reasons. The first is the risk. Operators are reluctant to enter into a potential situation where they could lose on their core business because they don't want to give airtime and then not. So that's the number one area. And the fact that we cover the risk 100% allows that comfort. The second thing is in resources. It takes a lot of time and money to develop it, so they'd rather have someone else do it for them.
Go ahead.
Sorry, please. How quick can you implement with an operator? I mean, you have 17 operations, so if a doer at Salat today tells you, go ahead, how long will it take you with your team to implement the solution?
It varies. But assuming all the necessary is in place and ready to go, literally, hypothetically ready to go, then we look at a period of about 4 to 6 weeks.
Weeks?
Yes.
Is there, if I can ask a question quickly, sorry, please. No.
Just give me the economics quickly of the business. What are the margins? How do you make money? Okay, what are the fees, the extra fees, all the premium things? And do you have like a warehouse line from a bank that you use to pay the operator to pay against, or you don't pay the operator until afterwards, so you're going at a risk-sharing proposition?
Okay, well, the fee, okay, on there's a fee agreed upon on each transaction. When the user pays back the airtime that they've been advanced, the fee is inclusive and is collected on our behalf by the operator. At the end of the month, after reconciliation...
Just like numbers.
Right.
I'm asking not concepts, numbers. Like, we give somebody 1,000 minutes, we charge them the equivalent of 100 minutes as a premium above the normal rate, just to get a concept of how it works.
Okay, so we give them about 100 units, and we charge them about 10 units. The 10 units are shared, the value is shared between the operator and us, who then, at the end of the month, after reconciliations are done, we bill them based on what's been collected and not what's been lent out. Did I answer you?
Okay, well, we'll keep it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Mohammed Sayed from D Square.
Oh, it's Ayman Aisawi anyway. It's okay. First, I'm representing D Squares. D Squares is an internet startup. I think it's not working.
Could someone just give him some assistance?
Okay. So D Squares is an internet startup founded in 2012 by 4 co-founders. I'll quickly introduce the team. Marwan, ex-Vodafone marketing manager, currently looking after commercial and merchant business units. Mumtaz Musa, INSEAD grad, ex-Vodafone and Booz, currently looking after D Squares strategy. Muhammad Hamouda, ex-Vodafone and serial entrepreneur with a good track record of successful startups, currently looking after partnerships and strategic alliances. And myself, Ayman Aisawi, ex-Saramadi and Vodafone, currently looking after product development, operations, and technology. Okay. Building on our telecom, sorry. Building on our telecom background and e-commerce passion, we have decided to find ways of utilizing the communication power of telecom operators and build our first e-commerce platform, which is دلوقتي. دلوقتي is a platform that offers services as a solution for telecom operators, starting with the first project, which is Vodafone deals. After studying different e-commerce sectors based on our presence in the e-commerce market represented in Vodafone deals, we found the gap in the veiled fashion segment, offering in addition to, in the veiled fashion segment actually. In addition to the lack of internet education in online shopping, specifically in Egypt, accordingly we decided to build Bazaar Sittat. Bazaar Sittat is the first online female fashion store with special focus on veiled segment. Due to the limitation in the marketing spend currently, we have decided to empower Bazaar Sittat with an online direct sales platform building on the previous success stories in Stella and Dot, which have been invested in by Sequoia Capitals, and the current actually Oriflame success story in Egypt, which is offline, of course. Our research says that the total addressable market for online female fashion will reach $900 million by 2017. 80% of this segment actually is veiled women in Egypt, which represents $700 million by 2017. What are the main advantages? Actually, Bazaar Sittat main advantages are represented in being the first female fashion store with special focus on veiled women. Not only an e-commerce fashion store, also but also actually engaging our customers through a community section. The community section which offers tips and fashion stylists, top fashion stylists gives tips and advices for our users actually. Our gross margin average is 30 to 40%. The business model is a normal retail model. The revenues, we're expecting revenues to reach more than $250 million by year 5. We're expecting to turn cash flow positive by year 3. Achievements actually, acquisition of Fortune 500 clients such as Vodafone, cash flow positive after year 1, 14 employees in year 1, fully developed e-commerce platform with millions of page views, full understanding of e-commerce dynamics in the region. As for Bazaar Sittat's achievement specifically, Bazaar Sittat generates $6 on every $1 spent on marketing, reached 30K fans in 2 months with a high interaction and satisfaction level. Gross margins are 30% from the consignment, and dropship products should reach 50% if we buy inventory. Okay. Our customer acquisition cost is currently 59 EGP, which is by far lower than the competition in the market. 12% of the revenues are from foreign countries, which represents a big opportunity to expand globally within the market. That's it. I would like to invite actually Mohammed Hamouda, my partner, for the Q's and A's.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Question and answers? Questions, answers come later.
Sorry, the most interesting statement is $6 of what for every $1 in marketing spend?
Yep.
$6 of revenue, what's the margin on it, what's the bottom line? Because that sounds like a perpetual machine.
Actually, currently we are spending a very low, we have a very low marketing budget at this moment. Our margins is 30 to 40% as mentioned. This is the average margins currently, and the products are all on consignment. So we're still expecting to start buying products in the future.
But if you make $6 of revenue,
yeah, actually
for every $1 of
every
marketing with a 30% margin,
actually spending $1 on marketing. Let's say on Facebook ad, we spend $1, it gets back $6
of revenue. You make 30% margin on it. That's $2.
Yep.
You should spend every dollar you have on marketing on Facebook.
That's actually what we're actually planning to do that. However, we're still limited within the resources because actually the headcount and overheads is a bit high. So we're taking from the revenues covering our costs.
If I may ask, sorry, but what's the capital investment you're asking for?
Actually, our capital investment, what we're asking for is $1 million, mainly to spend between aggressive marketing initiatives and hiring top talents, going into price wars with competitions, and that's mainly the main channels.
Are your plans only for Egypt, or are you planning to expand in the region or further?
No, our plans is actually to expand not just in the region but internationally, because when we first launched our initiative, it was for Egypt, where we find a big segment of veiled women. But then we discovered that it's not just in Egypt, it's in the Middle East, in the GCC market with different needs. It's in Europe, it's in Asia, Malaysia, and it's in Singapore, it's in USA. It's everywhere in the world, actually.
Do you have women in your team?
Sorry?
Do you have women?
Yeah, for sure. Our brand manager is a woman.
Okay.
And our consultant actually is one of the leading fashion designers in veiled women.
Okay.
Okay. No further questions?
You.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think these were good examples of people presenting their ideas, and the maturity levels are very much different in terms of the stage that they're in and where they are in terms of the growth potential that they have. Some clearly have had a breakthrough. 10 days ago, we just saw an example coming from Nasser Saleh al-Madfu'at, delivering on a captive market in Jordan is going to be a big catalyst for value and for growth potential accordingly. I think if we can basically just share with you the process, we're going to have a deliberation session. So if you, we'll take a break right now, and please stay close by. We're going to reach a direction and a decision on who will we provide with the award for this session. And thank you so much.